Strike one, the bottom of the knees. Rise getting ready to start his first season with the Giants. Wanted a chance to play second base again. He'd been playing mostly first base in San Diego and had offers from other places, multi-year contracts, but he wanted to play second. Giants are willing to take his high average bat, his contact ability, and work with him defensively. Puts this one in play to second to a charging John Birdie for the first out of the fourth. Aaron Nola showing why Team Italy wanted him to be the guy today. They'll figure out the championship game if they get there. They want their best guy trying to get him Tuesday.
Yeah, he looks more like the Nola that most of his career for Philadelphia has been the pitcher. And getting away from last year's injury-riddled season. But, man, he knows how to pitch. And it's fun to watch him for a former pitcher to see him navigate a lineup without throwing 97 miles an hour, just spinning it, changing speeds, and throwing enough fastballs for strikes.
It was 93 the first two innings. He's been 91, 92 the last inning plus, which is where he sat for a lot of last year. This is Suarez, who worked a 10-pitch at bat his first time before striking out. On an 0-1 from Nola. Suarez leans into it, sends it in the air, deep left field, Nori to the wall. It's gone. Venezuela's on the board. Gino Suarez with a home run. .25 of those in his major league career. Puts a charge into this pro Venezuela crowd. Really this all Venezuela crowd. Strike on Tovar. Low throw, Pescantino's there to bail him out. Another look at the Suarez home run.
Yeah, that one hung in the middle of the zone, and just that classic swing. We talked about it. He's swinging for the moon. Sometimes he doesn't get too many barrels on the ball, but he's there for one reason: homer.
49 of them last year. 21 of them came against breaking balls. That was more than any hitter in baseball. And that's what he got right there to take Nola deep and get Venezuela on the board. Strike on Gleyber Torres. And man, oh man, did he set off a surge of excitement from this crowd. There are more Venezuelans living in Miami than any city in the U.S. Torres towards the hole. No chance for Antonacci. Infield hit Gleyber Torres. And the tying run aboard in the fourth.
We've seen Bobby Witt do a lot of this, but not even Bobby Witt, I don't think, could have gotten that, thrown him out.
Here's the guy who put him in front with a home run against Japan, Wilyer Abreu. Grounds this one to second, and Birdie That'll do it for the Venezuelans in the fourth, but they are on the board and they're rocking here in Miami. It's Eugenio Suarez finding the seats. Taglione, Fisher, Durazio coming up. First time they haven't had that guy as an active player. Played in the first 5. Noel Tuve this time around. He had the thumb injury last time. The Astros didn't want to risk that again. And so they very much are looking for that next batch of ball players to carry this nation's great baseball tradition. Taglione left side with charging Garcia. Michael Garcia's throw is in time for the first out of the 4th. Nola's through 4 innings, just the 1 run and the home run, and judging by the body language over there, looks like he may be finished.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you know, it gets to a point where if this were a regular season game, of course they would stretch him out a little bit more, but he did what he needed to do and left with the lead.
And you see Lorenzen's warming, so we're going to see both starting pitchers that Team Italy figured to have factor into these 2 games here, should there be a second. Be a championship appearance. The plan that everybody assumed was Lorenzen today, Nola, and the championship, but instead, both of them going to try and get him to the championship. Andrew Fisher breaks his bat on a teardrop of a base hit into left center field. He's on both times. Destroy. Durazio.
Tell you what, I like this guy a lot. I mean, from not really getting a ton of playing time to being the guy now. He's had some really good at-bats.
Manager likes him a lot, too. Those guys got a lot in common. Venezuelans, but with Italian heritage, playing catcher. Francisco did in the major leagues for 13 years. First one to Durazio is in there for no ball. Oh, 1-0. There's a strike. Avila trying to make the Royals opening day roster as a relief pitcher. Chance that his long-term future is as a starter. The best path forward right now is through the bullpen.
Yeah, I wish it weren't the way. I see too many of that. I wish it weren't the way, but that's kind of the channels that they're bringing all these young arms into the big leagues.
Bouncing ball left side to the hole. It's short. Tovar goes to second in time. So they keep Fisher out of scoring position as Ezequiel Tovar. He's got a Gold Glove. And his time in Colorado makes a heck of a play right here.
Yeah, really the only play was that second base. So every infielder has a time clock, has a clock that we know, okay, based on this speed, that bounce, the base runner, the hitter. You have to predetermine and think about things before they happen because it's such a fast reaction sport. Make the right choice.
Dante Nori off the end of the bat serves a fly ball to left center field. Routine for Abreu. And after 4 innings in Miami, a 2-1 game. Michael Abreu in that shocking win for Italy in Houston piggybacks Aaron Nola with a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, he's throwing the kitchen sink, by the way. He's got 6 or 7 pitches, and he'll throw them all. And he did an incredible job against a heavily favored USA team that knew him, faced him, but couldn't get anything going against him. You know, I was trying to think. There's a long way to go, but I don't know of anything that I can think of that if Team Italy were to win this all that's comparable. I mean, the miracle on ice, I don't even know if you can go down that road. From when this started to what they're doing to if they were to keep going and win it all, it's what this tournament was designed for, to see stories like this and teams like this in countries.
William Contreras leading off this inning for Venezuela. He's ahead 2-0 on Lorenzo. Captain Pasquantino was saying that they look at it as kind of holding the torch for now. And the end game is that this increases visibility for the sport in Italy, and that eventually got a WBC team built of all guys that were born and raised there. 3-0 very quickly on Contreras. 9 big leaguers all time have been born in Italy. Only 2, though, were raised there. A lot of them born there, then came to the United States. 4-pitch walk to start this inning. The tying run is aboard just like that. Here's Jackson Chourio.
4-pitch walk to this guy doesn't mean he's going to take the first pitch. So quality pitch here by Lorenzen.
Chourio shows bunt, and there was a quality pitch and a strike. So after the 4 2/3 innings against USA, a 4-pitch walk for Lorenzen. They open up this relief outing. Acuna waits on deck as Chourio waits on an 0-1. He bunts it. Lorenzen will go to first. Tying run goes to second.
Well, Team Venezuela's manager, Omar, said, I'm going to use any way, anyhow, that I think is going to give us the best chance to win this game. A lot of it might be gut. Some of it might be information. But I'm going to trust my gut, too.
And his gut told him to have a guy that has bunted twice in 2 years in the major leagues. Lay one down right there to set the table for his superstar Acuna, who takes ball 1 outside. On a strike. Lorenzen's 1-1. Acuna tries to lay off and does. He's ahead 2 balls and 1 strike. Second WBC that Ronald's played in. He credited playing in the 23 WBC with sparking that MVP season that followed. On a 2-1 pitch, fouls it off, and it's 2-2. Contreras at second. 2-2 to the plate. Ball 3 on Acuna. Lorenzen's payoff will come after a look to second. And a team connecting generations of baseball greats. Miguel Cabrera, the hitting coach, watching as Ronald Acuna. It's a pop fly into shallow left field. Won't even make it that far. Third baseman Fisher called off by Antonacci. 2 away.
Lorenzen's been through the fire. He's not fazed by anything, and he looks calm, cool, and collected when he's out there pitching. And I'd like to see, he's going to Colorado, right?
Yep.
I'd like to see how calm, cool, collected. If he can do that out there, he can do it here.
Pretty good team. 5-0, trying to take down Venezuela to make the championship for the first time. Sam Antonacci fouls off the first pitch from Avila. And Italy's doing to Venezuela what the Americans did to the Dominicans. You got Venezuela and the Dominican Republic combined for 85 runs to finals. A solo home run last night, all the Dominicans mustered, and that's all that Venezuela's been able to score against Italy. Avila to Antonacci. Up the middle. Tovar. 1 out.
Well, the espresso machine has not been utilized today, but I bet you they would take a day off from that if they were able to win this game without a homer.
Little caffeine break.
Yeah.
Reset the system. Sleep a little bit tonight. John Birdie fouls back the first one. They drink coffee all day, espresso shots all day in Italy.
What did they say, 8? Did they say 8 was the norm?
That wouldn't be crazy. They're espresso coffee bars. You go in, you have a shot of espresso, you have a quick chat. Not quite the coffee shop culture that it is here, where you're sitting down, you're hanging out, you're meeting. No, you go in there, you get your fuel, and you keep going with your day. And then you do it again 7 more times. 0-2 on Birdie. Avila fires. Oh man, a cross up that gets Jeremy Rahak.
Yeah, he's expecting a little breaking ball there, and that is center off the mask. There's no defense for that. The umpire's got to trust the catcher.
On a 2-1 game, Italy in front, bottom of the 5th inning. Let's check in with Tom Verducci.
Well, this is the first game that Team Italy has access to iPads in the dugout provided by MLB, but you really wouldn't know it. Now, Michael Lorenzen is looking at it, but not a single hitter has checked in on an iPad tonight. I talked to hitting coach Frank Menachino. He said, we haven't had it throughout the WBC, and I think we're doing pretty well. It's really interesting. What you do see is guys at the top step talking to one another about how the pitcher is attacking them and how the pitches are moving. It really is almost like, well, high school baseball or analog baseball. You just don't see this in a major league game where most guys, as soon as they take in a bat, are on the iPad.
High school baseball, old school baseball, and I think that it has come at the expense of that, of teammates interacting and discussing what they're seeing. Slide lazily to right center field. Easy play for Jackson Churio. Now, there was a stretch a couple years ago where the Dodgers thought that they all got too in their own thing. Everybody was too buried in the iPad, and so they put them away for a long stretch, so it fostered more of those conversations.
Well, there's something to be said for the feel of the game, and you got to trust the player that just came from the batter's box to give you that feel and perspective, because there's nothing better than the visible evidence that you get to see for yourself and pass it on.
Avila doing a nice job here. Got him until I said that. Now he hits Marcy. And Italy's got a 2-out base runner as Marcy reaches for the first time tonight.
I'll condense the story really short because it's funnier hearing it out. But Ralph Garr, long time ago, leadoff hitter for the Atlanta Braves. And back then, the leadoff hitter used to take a lot of pitches and then come back and tell the guys, what has he got? Well, he's facing Nolan Ryan. And so after the first at bat, He comes in and he goes, boys, this game is over. Talk about setting the tone.
The inning kept alive for Pasquantino, who tried to aim one inside the bag down there, but the defense pulled around, but it's foul. Ball game. Pasquantino with a big rip and a foul, and it's 0-2. Three, 4, and 5 due up for the Venezuelans in the 6th inning. The bullpen 3 2/3 scoreless innings after Montero struggled, keeping him in the game. Guy that hit .354 here in Miami a few years back. Part of a stretch of 3 straight years where he won the batting title every year. That was his finest. .354. Last year the average was down in San Diego, but he had the lowest strikeout rate since Tony Gwynn. Ahead 2-1. He stands out like a beautiful sore thumb in this day and age where the league average is about .245. He's well above .300 for his career.
Yeah, he has the same kind of approach as Acuna with the bat, but he doesn't need the power.
Fly to center field, Jacob Marcy.
Good defense, timely pitching for Team Italy.
Here is the guy with the big swing for Venezuela, Eugenio Suarez. He would love to have a big swing one of these days that held up. He had his grand slam in Game 5 of the ALCS for the Mariners that put them, or in Game 5, put them within 1 win. Going to the World Series, but 2 Blue Jays wins after that, and that grand slam won't shine as brightly. When viewed back, punches this one to right field. Caglione, an easy play, 2 out. Same deal here. He's got a big home run for his country, but in a losing effort to this point. Michael Lorenzen has retired 5 in a row since he walked the first man that he faced on 4 pitches. Base is empty, 2 out. The hitter's Tovar.
Starts getting a little anxious from this point on a team that's favored is trailing, and the prize is the championship game.
Getting late early. Tovar yanks that one into the Italy dugout. For 2 today, 6 out of 11 in the tournament, though. Tovar reached the major leagues when he was 21 years old for the Rockies. Flies it to right. Caglione coming on, and 3 weak fly balls in an 8-ball game ever nationally televised, and more than half of the country tuned into it.
It's, again, part of the efforts of this tournament was to create that awareness and excitement, and maybe building the program of baseball.
5 hitters, Zach DeZenzo, the Houston Astros, to lead off this 6th inning. Winder Avila and this Venezuela bullpen has kept them in the ball game. After Cater Montero struggled out of the gates, 2 runs against him in the 2nd, and he was yanked. Nothing against the pen, though. You look at what Italy's doing, the bullpen for them, the relative weakness. So Francisco Cervelli saying we're just not going to have a bullpen tonight. You got the 4 innings from Nola. Could Lorenzen finish this game for him? There is a chance he'll be without Greg Weissert tonight, closer for Team Italy. All these guys, this is what you're going to find with any of these guys who are key players for big league teams. They still have the restrictions as they get ready for the regular season. So the one sure thing at the back end of that pen might not be available. Lashed into left center field by DeZenzo, his second hit of the ball game, and it leads off the 6th.
I'm telling you what, this guy, I just love his approach. I mean, the ball jumps off his bat. That's just smoked up the middle. Short, quick to the ball. He knows he's the guy. There's nobody else. Well, there is, but there isn't. Okay.
So he's on to start this inning in front of Caglione. That's a strike, and we check him with Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, you can understand what Francisco Cervelli is doing tonight with Michael Lorenzen, going for broke. It's the old baseball adage, win today, worry about tomorrow. But if you're Team USA, you have to be liking what you're seeing here, particularly if this score holds up. Team Italy likely would be looking at a bullpen game tomorrow. A bullpen game for the championship of the WBC. Their other starter, Sam Aldeghiri, pitched Saturday. He's not coming back on 2 days rest. And Nola and Michael Lorenzen, they're not pulling a Yoshinobu Yamamoto in the middle of March and coming back on no rest.
I think the big thing that Team USA, they aren't taking anything for granted. And they're not going to assume anything after being in Houston and the events that led to this point. Now they're back in the championship.
Zerpa and Bizzardo both warm in for Venezuela. Ball and 2 strikes on Caglione. Kenny, if Venezuela were to come back in this game, what do they have lined up?
Eduardo Rodriguez. And that would pose an interesting lineup question for Mark DeRosa. Obviously, at that point, it would be pretty clear that he would play Alex Bregman at third base, right-hander versus a left-hander. But it would mean sitting Gunnar Henderson, at least for the start of the game. And the other question, he would face Cal Raleigh or Will Smith. Cal Raleigh is 0 for 9 in the tournament, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks. Will Smith, a right-handed hitter against the left-handed Rodriguez, 3 for 10.
And as he said, Mark DeRosa throughout this last week or so, back and forth between the catchers, and he was going to decide in the championship if they were to get there based on who's played better. And it's been pretty clear which of those 2 guys has. Zenzo is running with that pitch. He'll jog his way back for another 2-2. Caglione taps it along first. Avila over to first in time. And the scoring position goes to Zenzo.